Hi friends, and welcome back to this channel where we talk about relationship. In our last episode, we said we were concluding with healthy relationship. So today we shall continue this video, this talk on relationship by talking on abusive, unhealthy, or toxic relationship. So stay tuned as we continue. Again, I'd like to welcome you, our dear viewers, subscribers, friends, and all the people out there. Thanks so much for watching our videos. Thanks for subscribing. And continue to encourage you. Give us thumbs up when you watch these videos and you enjoy it. Subscribe and also encourage others to do so. So today, as I said, we shall continue by talking about unhealthy relationship or abusive relationship. And before we continue, what is an abuse? Let's just ask ourselves, what is an abuse? An abuse is like abnormal use of something. When you use something in an abnormal way, it becomes an abuse. How much more an abuse of a human being? Human being is not even supposed to be used in the first place. We are meant to be loved and catered for. We are meant to love one another, to care about each other. So abuse should not even come when we talk of human beings or anything that has life. Not to talk of even things around us. We are not even supposed to abuse anything, even our own properties. Not to talk of a human being. So today we shall continue by talking of what is an abuse. And as I said, an abuse is just abnormal use of something, a misuse of something or someone in a way that is not supposed to be, or to gain a kind of personal use, a kind of personal good that is against the person's wish, that is against the other person's wish. And we've talked of relationship, that is how we relate with each other. So when we say abusive relationship, what do we mean when we talk of abusive relationship? This simply means a relationship that what is happening there, it's not supposed to be. As in, what is going on there, it's not the normal thing that should be in relationship. And abuse can come in different ways. Number one, we talk of physical abuse. We talk of emotional abuse. And then we have financial abuse. We have things like spiritual abuse, child abuse, technological abuse. And we shall be talking about all these things one after the other. So let's begin. Let's talk of physical abuse. Most of the time, this is the most common one that we see around us. And you know why we are able to see it? Because it leaves mark on the victim. For example, things that are involved in physical abuse is something like slapping, beating, hitting, kicking, and at times even using weapon on the other persons. All these things come up under the physical abuse. So it's like the most noticed one because the mark is on the victim of the abuse. So you can easily spot that. Like when you see some women or some people with red eye and all that, you can easily see it because it involves the use of physical force and all that on the victim. And the second one we shall be looking at is the emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is the worst because it affects the victim psychologically, and mostly it is the one that people don't really notice because it doesn't leave any physical sign, any physical symbol that will make you know that, okay, this person is going through this abuse. And what are those things that are involved in it? Things like put down, insult, humiliation, as in when you are disrespected, intimidation in your relationship, when you are not able to be free because you know that, okay, the other person will body shame you, or they take pleasure in making sure that they bring you down, they make sure in making you look stupid in presence of others, they isolate you and all that, because they are all emotional abuse. For example, you know that, okay, this person is skinny before you get into marriage with them, or before you go into relationship with them, and each time outside you just be talking as if, oh, even no matter what you eat, you just continue to remain like broom or things like that. All those are body shaming or physical emotional abuse that can lead to depression, that can lead to even suicide. So emotional abuse is another one that is worse, because it affects the victim psychologically. It affects the victim's outlook to life, how they believe, how they see themselves, how they see others, and how they see people around them. And another one we shall be talking about is the financial abuse. When we say financial abuse, it means one party seeks to control the other person financially. For example, things like you don't allow your partner to run their own business, or you cause them to lose their job, maybe because of the way you treat them. When they're supposed to be at work, you lock them in, you are not going anywhere, or when already they are fixed for a program, you prevent them from going, and before you know, the other person starts going down financially. Or at times you say, okay, don't work, you just stay at home, take care of the children, I will be giving you allowance, and before you know, these allowances stop coming, and before you know, even when the woman asks, she's abused that if you are working and things like that. So all those ones contribute to financial abuse. When you are not giving adequate support financially to your spouse, to your partner, or to your family, you are abusing them financially. And another one is technological abuse. This happens mainly among the young ones. Of course, it happens even in marriages or in other relationships, and that involves stalking. As in, you see some people, their partner, their spouse, or someone like that will be monitoring their phones. They attach this all these monitoring gadgets to it. They know how they connect it, and they monitor their calls, they monitor the messages, they monitor their social media handles. They are not free. All those things are technological abuse. Even it should, having your access to your spouse or to your husband's phone or to your wife's phone, to your friend's phone, should be a kind of agreement between two of you, something that two of you are comfortable to do. It shouldn't be by force. So it's something that two of you are comfortable to do. If you remember when we were talking of boundaries, it's part of what we say. Is it, are you both comfortable knowing each other's password, going through each other's phone? But when somebody have to attach all these technological monitoring gadgets to your phones to monitor your calls and all that, that is technological abuse. And another one is the spiritual abuse. This is very common in our churches today. This is very common in religion houses today. I mean, when a pastor, imam, or whoever is trying to use the scripture, the Bible passage, to make you think as if there's something wrong with the way you live, to make you feel that, okay, you must bring out your resources even at your detriment. Let me share this story here. I remember one time we went for a kind of program in one church like that. And in the course of the program, the pastor asked the people to bring out all the money in their pocket and use it to sow seed. And when the program was over, pastor entered his vehicle and was going, and all these people who have used their money to sow seed, they were standing by the road begging for lift. Some were borrowing money from others just to get home. Some had to go and queue at ATM just to collect money, and subjecting them to that type of. I'm not saying that is wrong, it depends on what you believe, but when a pastor or your religious leader is using the scripture to manipulate you in one way or the other. For example, the one that is happening in Omo-Ekiti right now, where a pastor asks the people to pay 310,000 so that he will take them to heaven. I was like, wow, this is interesting. And you see people paying because already they have been manipulated with the scriptures, or I don't know what to call that. So even spiritual abuse can happen. There was a time that the pastor said that people should be eating grass. so that the more you eat, the more you will be rich, and things like that. All those things are part of spiritual abuse. And another one we can talk about is the child abuse, which is very, very, very common in our society. You go to the village to go and bring a little girl, promising the parents that you help them to send the girl to school in the city, only for you to come and turn that girl to your slave, maltreat the child, and the child that is just like 7 or 8, we have to be taking care of your own children. How can a child be taking care of children and still you maltreat them? No food, nothing, nothing. At times they don't even go to bed till like around 12 a.m. and they have to be up by 4. All those things are child abuse, the misuse of human person. So we shall be stopping here today, and in our next video we are going to go into the signs of abuse. Signs of abuse, as in signs of abusive relationship. If you are in an abusive relationship, how will you know that this relationship is not supposed to be? As I said at the beginning, remember to give us the thumb up, like our videos, share them, subscribe, and encourage others to do so. Till I come your way again, remain blessed. Thank you.